What's going on, guys? We are out fishing in my 2025 Lund 1875 Impact XS today. And what I wanted to do is do a full boat walkthrough for you guys now that I've owned this boat for a few months. And I've kind of gotten to learn what its features and benefits are, as well as kind of make it my own and figure out how I'm going to use the storage and all the compartments and kind of get it rigged how I want it. So we're going to start at the bow and just work our way to the back of the boat today. And I'm going to show you exactly how this boat is put together and how I use it. Now, before we get started, I'm going to kind of show you everything that you would need to use this boat for casting. And then I'm going to show you how I use this boat for trolling and my entire TraxTech trolling setup, rod trees, downriggers, and all that stuff. We'll save that for the end for you trolling guys. All right, guys, let's start at the very bow of this boat. On the bow of the boat, I have a Minn Kota Altera 36-volt trolling motor, and that trolling motor is an absolute beast. It's got the Quest series motor in it, it's brushless, and it is ultra quiet. And the best thing about it is automatic stow and deploy. So I can literally pull up to a spot, hit that button, my trolling motor will deploy itself while I'm getting my rods out and getting ready to fish. And it runs with a remote or a foot pedal. Can't say enough about the Altera. And I will leave links for everything that I'm talking about in this video down below if you're interested in upgrading to any of this stuff on your own boat. So check those links and I'll have it all listed there. But now next we have my live scope set up and my front sonar unit. So this is the Garmin Ultra 2, and this is a 12-inch screen, super ultra high definition, and that's hooked up to an LVS 34 live scope transducer. That's primarily what I use this for. I do also have it hooked up to 2D sonar on the trolling motor as well, but I typically use it primarily for live scope. And for my live scope pole, I've got a TraxTech pole right here, and this pole has been amazing. So I really like the versatility of it. Super beefy 1.25-inch aluminum pole, line through design, so there's no line in the water to snag on weeds and stuff. And I can take this pole out with just one simple tool like that, and I slide it back in and I'm back to fishing. Or if I'm not in too bumpy of water, I can just simply tilt up the whole unit and I can run like that on calm water with no problem. It's a super tough design. And then when I'm ready to fish, we just drop it back down and we're fishing again. And this whole bracket can also come off the TraxTech bracket with just 2 thumb screws right here. Can take that whole thing off and stow it so I can cover up the boat. All right, let's get into some of the storage. This is one of my favorite parts about this boat, tons of storage. So right here we have a triangle locker. I keep my extra life jackets in here. I keep extra tackle in here. I keep my warm clothes in here. Basically just bulk waterproof storage, and that is super valuable in any boat. And on this boat, I had them install the pistons so these don't fall down on their own. They're held up by those pistons. So super nice soft close and locking latches on everything in this boat as well. I had them install the mesh netting up here. So I keep like stuff like my measuring board here. Super easy access. I can grab that anytime I want to measure a fish. Stays out of the way, out of my feet. And then same on the other side, I store like my cover for my Garmin in that pocket. And that's a really nice feature to have in the boat. Now also, one other thing I love about Lund boats is there's just cup holders and tool storage everywhere. And that is just so important when you're fishing multiple people in the same boat, to have that extra storage for people's drinks and having tools spread out through the boat so you aren't handing tools back and forth all the time and wondering where they are. So that's a really handy feature as well. We'll kind of show you some more of those throughout the boat. But this right here is actually a drop-in for a foot pedal if you want to use it for that. I just store a couple of items in there that I use for cleaning screens and lubing stuff up, easy access. And that just pops in there, and you don't have to really use that if you don't want to. But then again, here we have another triangle storage. This is where I keep my emergency equipment, my underwater camera, all that stuff kind of stays in this dry locker, and I still have room to spare. So I haven't even filled that up yet. And here's my front live well right here. It's just a smaller live well. Nice to have one at the front of the boat. You can use it as a bait well or as a live well, either one. And again, locking handle, that's not going to pop up on you. And here is one of my favorite features of this boat. There's 2 rod tubes right here. So the 2 main rods I'm using in the front of the boat, I can store them right here and keep them up at the front with me, keep the rod tips out of the way, and protects them from getting broken or damaged. So they have rod storage everywhere in this boat too, which I absolutely love. A couple more things about the front of the boat here. On the whole boat, we've got foldable anchor points for tying up to the dock so they aren't in your way, hooking on your feet when you're fishing. Gas tank is on the left side, port side of the boat right here. And it's a nice, easy, just one button, flip it open, close it. Very nice gas cap. One other nice quick feature, they got a 12-volt port up here in the front so you can plug in any of your chargers that you want to right there. All right, guys, moving towards the middle of the boat, we got a full walk-through windshield here. Great for big water, Great Lakes fishing, keeps you nice and dry and warm. And that's one feature I definitely needed on a boat like this that I take on Lake Superior quite a bit. And what I'm standing on right here is one of my favorite features of this boat. 12 rod locker, coffin style storage. I can keep so many extra rods in here. Very, very easy to get them out in and out. Simple, just a tube at the end. Nice little rod rack with a bungee here to keep them from bouncing around. And I can store a ton of rods in this boat. Now, obviously, as well, you'll notice I did vinyl on this boat. The whole boat is vinyl. There is no carpet in this boat. There is also no wood in this boat. This whole boat is composite, aluminum, and vinyl. So you can get this boat wet and not worry about any wood rotting or getting soaked at all. For years and years and years, this boat is going to perform even in the wettest environments. So moving on to storage here. On the port side, we've got a nice glove compartment. This is where I keep like my extra radio, sunscreen, first aid kit, just little stuff like that that I want not to get wet and kind of keep handy. And then there's a nice little open port here. This is where I keep like my throwable life jackets, or throwable and my life jackets. Just a nice spot to throw extra jackets and stuff too. And then I did have them install a drawer, tackle drawer down here. So I keep a bunch of extra tackle in this drawer that I don't want spread out over the boat, but I can easily access it whenever I want to. And again, locking latches on everything so you can easily lock your boat up if you have it parked at a parking lot or whatever. So really nice seats. They both raise and spin, and super, super comfortable seats come standard with this boat. So now moving on to the driver's seat here. Lots of really good information on the gauges. You got RPMs, fuel, your trim meter up and down. Very, very nice control panel for all your lights and aerators. You got a master power switch, so I can just turn off all of my power with one switch. And we've got a radio here, and super, super nice design, open dash, so you could fit multiple units up here. I just have my Garmin 93 SV up here, and I've got my like side imaging and everything on that. And I can also hook up to read whatever's on my front monitor with that, so I can see my live scope back here if I want to. Lots of knee room, which is important for me, so I have no problem with my knees hitting the steering wheel or anything in this boat. So, and we've got throttle right here. We've got our trim, throttle, run switch, kill switch. There's a phone holder that comes standard right here. A couple more USB chargers right here. A little pocket here. That's kind of where I keep my garbage a lot of times. And again, big deep pocket right here for all kinds of whatever you want to throw in there. Just keeps it nice and contained. Pliers, scissors, more cup holders, just so much storage for stuff. And again, we've kind of got the same setup here with the pocket. I keep some extra tackle just in bags thrown in there. And then I didn't have a drawer installed on this side because I wanted room for bigger items. So I actually keep like a bin with all my soft plastics, and then another bag with like all my paddle tails in there. And I can just yank those out and use them whenever. So just tons and tons of features on these Lund boats. You just can't beat them. Everything is well thought through. So now let's move towards the back of the boat. All right, so back here we've got room for 2 more seats. So you can actually fit 4 seats, pedestal seats, and then we've got 2 jump seats right here. So you can actually seat 6 in this boat, no problem. You can put 1 more forward as well. So total is 7 capacity, which is pretty dang good for a 19-foot boat. And these jump seats are really nice because it gives you a lot of casting deck when they're down, but it gives you more options for seating if you want more people in the boat. Also, there's room for another pedestal seat up here if you want it. as well as a ski pole. So the 1875 Impact is designed as a somewhat of a crossover boat. It's got a ladder on the back so you can use it for skiing and tubing as well. So that's really nice if you have a family and want to use it for recreation. It's definitely doable. So now as far as storage back here, there is basically just a pocket, a long pocket on the side here. And then on this side, there is a liftable box. And this actually has 2 more rod tubes in it for, I think you can fit up to a 9-foot rod in here. So I keep my 2 trolling rods in there just to keep them handy in case I need them. Yeah, I also keep a lot of my Trax Tech accessories in this one. And it's a nice little longer storage pocket. It's kind of like a piano hinge on there. And then again, 2 more tubes on this side for 2 more rods with a strap. And I can actually put 2 rods in each tube, so I can fit 4 on each side. So there's 2 tubes on that side, 2 tubes on this side. And that is a really nice way to store rods in this boat out on the deck so you can access them really easily. So that's a total of 6 rods I can keep out and available that are still protected, and I don't have to worry about breaking tips on them. So now here's the ladder I was talking about right here. That just folds down if you want to get in and out of the boat off the back. And then, of course, the big live well. And as you can see, we've been doing a little walleye fishing today. Had some success, and we got some fish in there. And it's got adjustable aerator, so you can do auto or always on. You can do pump out. It's got all the aerator features you can want. So for power on this boat, I've got 150 horsepower Mercury 4-stroke engine on here. Great fuel efficient engine. And this boat will do about 37, 38 miles per hour with me and one other person in here with that engine on it. Great fuel efficiency on that motor. And then I've got the 9.9 kicker on here. This is the Pro Kicker by Mercury. Very well set up for trolling. It's got a friction knob on it so I can set it and it'll lock in that speed really well. And that's connected to my steering system so I can steer both from the steering wheel. So, and I do have a onboard charger plug right here so I can charge my batteries from one charger. And I've got 4 batteries on this boat. I've got 3 amped outdoors lithiums. I've got 2 of them that are both 36 volt 50 amps, and that's what I'm running my trolling motor off of. And then I've got a 60 amp hour that's just for my electronics. It's a house battery, so that's pretty much just designated for all my electronics on board. And then I have a regular starting battery, lead acid, that's gonna just run my starters on my motors. So all those are charged through that one outlet, which makes it really simple. So before I get into the trolling gear, I just wanna let you guys know, if you're looking for a boat, a great place to buy is where I bought this boat, and that is RJ Sport and Cycle up in Duluth, Minnesota. They were amazing. They set this boat up and rigged it for me exactly how I wanted to. I didn't have to change a thing on the rigging, and their service has been second to none. So I will leave a link down below for their website. Now we're gonna run home, and I'm actually gonna rig up the boat for a trolling trip, and I'll show you all the Trax Tech, all the rod trees, and the downriggers that I have set up on this boat. All right guys, we are back at the house, and now I want to show you my Trax Tech setup that I have for trolling on this boat. It's a great small boat setup for trolling any of the Great Lakes for walleyes, trout, and salmon. Basically what I've got is Trax Tech set up on both sides, port and starboard. I've got a 3-foot section, or maybe it's 2.5, something like that, on each side. And then I've got just a 1-foot section for just my downriggers only. And then I've got 2 ratcheting rod holders, so these can set anywhere you want, and when you grab the rod they ratchet up and you're able to grab the rod out really easily. And then if you fish with any kind of planer board system at all, you know how important it is to have a good rod tree. It just keeps your rods nice and separated, makes the whole system work much better. This is a super beefy one, fits right in the Trax Tech. It is a Trax Tech brand, and it's got just pin sets, so you can literally set this up however you want it to. You can leave the top one up a little bit higher and spread your rods out really nice. And when you're done fishing, it's just a really simple fold it up, just like that. And all these pieces come out really easily. Just a couple of thumb screws, slide them out of the track, stow them, and then the tracks themselves come off real easily with just these T-bolts. And this is just a great system for being super versatile and being able to troll one day and cast for bass the next. So if you guys want any of this Trax Tech stuff, I will leave links And I will also leave a link below for Marine General up in Duluth, Minnesota. That's where I got my rod holders and my trees and stuff. That's a great place to stop because they can actually set you up, and they have some real experts up there that can definitely help you out. So if you ever have a chance and you're up in Duluth, definitely swing by Marine General because it's a must-see sport shop. So I'll leave a link down below for their website as well. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the whole boat setup. Hopefully you guys got something that you can use for your boat out of this video, or maybe if you're looking at buying a new boat or a used boat, this will give you some idea of what to look for. If you have any questions, message me on Instagram at hookedupwisconsin, and I'll be sure to answer your questions there. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Get hooked up.